Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Life Consult podcast by Deborah Bless. Today, I want to talk about a profound history figure in the Bible called David and how we can learn from everything he did. See, David is one of my favorite characters in the Bible. And when I was reading about King David, I gleaned a lot of leadership lessons that I want to share with you today from him. So King David, as we know, his story spans through First Samuel to Second Samuel to the Kings to Chronicles. That was a very long one. 4 chapters, about 4 chapters in the Bible. It was really a remarkable person. And so we're going to be talking about some of the lessons that his stories offer us today and what we can and how we can, use that in our own lives. It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, King David, as you know, was one of the most renowned leaders in history, and his life provides timeless lessons on leadership that are very relevant in today's business world. So, if you're a business owner, if you're business inclined, and even in your own life, even if you don't do business, you're still going to find this podcast, today's lesson, very, very interesting. Now, David's journey was obviously far from easy. It was not perfect nor easy at all. According to his story in the Bible, we see that when Samuel anointed him king, I think that was when his journey began. He became envied after killing Goliath. He became envied by King Saul, who felt it was a threat to his kingdom. And then David had to be on the run for 20 years. 20 years, along with his parents, his brothers, his entire family, living in caves, mountains, going to the land of the Philistines to try to hide. Those were terrible, terrible times. But while David was a man on the run and navigating through all of this emotional turmoil and physical exhaustion, which we would see in First Samuel chapter 20, thereabouts, there was something that was happening. See, the exhaustion, the life on the run was taking place, but something deeper was going on. And that is David was fine-tuning leaders his who would become part of his army, who would become part of his team when he finally became king. And so we see that while on the run, David transformed this band of misfits into leaders of renown. Now, all the people who had something against the government at that time, they all came to David because they saw in him, he represented justice for them. He represented something bigger. Okay, and so they were always coming to him. They were coming to him while he was in the cave of Adullam. So if you want to know the full story of David, just read First Samuel, all through First Samuel, all through Second Samuel, the Kings, and you will get the full story of David in the Bible. Now let's go. Now, his leadership style was rooted in conviction and a deep understanding of the human potential. Now, these guys that were coming to David were not, they were, you could say they were the low lives of the society, because these were guys that, had so many things that was going on in their lives, and they just needed, David represented to them. David was like the future that they couldn't have. There was something about David that was attracting them to him. But the amazing thing is that David didn't leave them the way they came. David transformed this band of misfits into very powerful leaders. Now let's go. David's leadership approach can be applied in modern business context. And let's see. Now, David possessed a unique ability to see beyond the surface. Let me tell you something. For me, as a businesswoman, most the people who have helped my business were not the ready-made people. They didn't look like it. I remember one of my team member, she's a phenomenal woman. When she came, she had just finished internship. She had just finished internship, and because we needed somebody to fill in that space, I was a bit worried because what she was going to do required someone who had a lot of experience. Okay, but we decided to give her the chance. Number one, because she showed determination and grit. She was very, very determined. I could see it the first day. She showed that she was not afraid, to take on this big role. And we gave it to her. And honestly, it's been the best decision. So, as a leader, David was a man who saw beyond the surface. They will not always come in shining objects. They will come, they'll come in not what you expect, but you have to be able to look beyond that and and see the human potential that is right in front of you. And that was what David did. He recognized every individual, regardless of their current circumstances, that they harbored untapped potentials. Now, in business, this translates to seeing the potential in your employees who may initially appear, who may not be high performers initially. David believed in his followers, in this band of misfits, encouraged them to now rise above their circumstance and to realize their true potential. The truth is that a lot of these people, when you give them responsibility, they outperform, they often surprise you. Now, by investing time and resources in personal development, leaders can unlock the hidden talents within their teams, driving organizational success. David's refusal to give up on people was also one of his most defining traits. He understood that potential can be obscured by life's adversities and that perseverance was the key to revealing it. I mean, I once had an interview with a guy. He came and he was just, he stunk. He was smelling. It was so bad. But apart from the fact that his physical appearance was a big turn off, I like the fact that he still came. Now, when I listened to the story, I knew there was something wrong. I mean, there was a reason why this guy would come for an interview and not have his bath. And then he told me that when he was coming, he experienced, something on the road or something happened that I now, that gave me empathy for where he was coming from. So the truth is that life adversities can color people's true potential, can color their true values. Someone may look very, very sick. For example, say you're trying to recruit for a role that maybe a receptionist that require them to look a certain way. Someone may look very, very sick. Someone may look, maybe they don't have money to buy good clothes, or they've not gotten a job to be able to afford good skincare. You have to be able to look past the physical attributes and say, what does this person have within that I can use for my organization? Is this person beyond this? Is this person this way? Or is just because of the circumstance that they find themselves at that point? Okay? So we have to be able to see beyond that. Now, in the business environment, this simply means not discarding team members when they falter, but instead providing support and opportunities for growth. So you don't just write people off. You have to give them opportunity to see if they will step up. And you have to also provide support. And that was what David did. Now, when you have unwavering belief in your team, that can help with a culture of resilience and continuous improvement. Say the power of belief. I remember when I was little, when I had just come into the university, somebody. I met somebody who has touched my life in ways that he doesn't even know now. Now, when I met him a few weeks ago, I was telling him, I said, you had such profound impact on my life just by believing in me. You were literally one of the few people who believed in me because I did not look like it. I was coming from a very, very bad situation. I was a mess when I was in university, and seeing me, to see all of that, it was written all over my face. I looked it. It wasn't something that, they needed to tell you that this girl was going through a lot. But this man called me and said, I think you have the ability to teach. You have the ability to teach, and I want you to become a teacher. I want you to teach Bible study. I know you have a lot of, you have it. This were the words he told me. I know you have a lot inside of you and that God wants to bring out. So I want to give you the opportunity. I don't want you to hide, and I don't want you to be limited by the by what you carry now, by what you're going through. I want you to try. Will you try? Will you come next week and see if you can join the Bible study? And I'm going to give you a class to teach. Oh my God, even if I was not reading the Bible before, and even if I was not, just hearing those words from this man, from this senior, he was my senior at that time, it had such profound effect on me that I have carried through my life, that, and it brought me to tears, that somebody saw beyond how I looked and beyond my circumstance without saying anything and believed in me. And because of that, I see him as a visionary. And so we have to be able to provide support. We have to be able to to let people know that we believe in them. I believe in you so much. And now what I do in my career now is I teach. Now I teach, he saw what I didn't see. And guess what? It was right. I love to teach. I'm good at teaching. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy working with youth. I enjoy the impact that my work does. Okay, so let's go back to David. Now, David also gave his followers a new perspective on their worth. He empowered them with a sense of purpose and conviction. He made them believe that they were destined for greatness. Now, modern leaders can adopt this approach by communicating a clear and compelling vision that inspires and motivates their teams. That's actually my leadership style. I'm telling you, I have a team that if I was running into the fire, they will follow me, because I will make them know, because it's also a gift, to make people know that yes, we can do this. This vision is collectively our own. It's not just an organization, it's also for you and I. It's very, very important for us to be able to communicate that clear vision and to give people a sense of purpose, to make them know that yes, they can do it. It does not matter how the obstacles are there to test you, but if you can overcome that obstacle, you will achieve it. And that has worked for me. And so we must be able to inspire and motivate. Now, when employees understand the significance of their role and believe in the company's mission, they are more likely to be engaged and committed. Now, David instilled virtues such as strength of character and loyalty, not through coercion, but by setting a personal example. I believe so much in that. You see, I will always tell my people, I'll be like, I wash, I clean, I when it's time to clean, when we're doing deep cleaning, everybody is involved, because I do it. I do it. Sometimes, the chefs, one time, this particular person was very, very tired and he could not clean. I bent down and I did it. I want them to see that I am not beyond any job. I will do it. What is there? This is where we eat. So why won't we be able to do what it takes, or what the work that is required? And so I like to set that personal example that, look, if it is not beneath me, it cannot be beneath you. You will do it because you will see me do it. Okay? Now, he demonstrated honor and integrity in his actions, earning the respect and loyalty of his followers. Honor is very, very important. Integrity. You see, whatever you say that you will do is what you should do. They should see you as someone of integrity and honor. Now, for contemporary leaders, embodying the values that they wish to see in their team is crucial. So you have to leave it first. You cannot give what you don't have, right? Neither can you receive it. Okay, you do reap what you sow. So it's very, very important for you to be that person first before you demand it. Now, David's success was also attributed to his strategic thinking and discipline. It's very, very important. It's very, very important to be a man of discipline or a woman of discipline. You have to be disciplined. There are some things that you should not do in the workspace. That's why for me, I put in, it's a no-no. Office romance and all of that. No, 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 no. Do that at home. It doesn't matter. But at work, there's a level of discipline that is required. I know these things happen, but I don't know. It's just okay for us who work with a lot of youth. Okay, a lot of my team members work with a lot of youth who come with we work with a lot of youth on an unrolling basis. So okay, if you fall in love with this one now, when the other one comes and you fall in love with them, it's not going to be messy. It's going very going to be messy. And so it's important for you to be disciplined. And that's what I tell my team members. You have to be disciplined because you will always meet so many people. You're working with so many youth, so many people. You're not. So when you want to get married, yes, that's fine. Oh, I want to get married to this person. Then that's fine. But saying that you're just jumping from one person, you're just going to cause complication for the organization. And a lot of bosses do it too. But that is very wrong. Okay. It was so David was also a master of war strategy and understood the importance of discipline in achieving his goals. In business, strategic thinking and disciplined execution are fundamental to success. Leaders must develop and communicate clear strategies and ensure that their teams have the discipline to follow through. Yes. Finally, David gave his followers something to live for. He instilled in them a sense of purpose and the importance of their contribution to a greater cause. Now, business leaders also must strive to create a work environment where employees feel that their work is meaningful and that they are part of something bigger than themselves. This sense of purpose can now drive motivation and loyalty, and it leads to higher productivity and employee satisfaction. Your employees are your business, not your customers. Yes, it's like if you put your customers first, it's like you have it all inverted. It's your employee first because they are the ones who meet your customers. So if they are dissatisfied, they do not believe it, whatever it is that is going on in that organization is what they will communicate to your customer. And so you must put them first and then your customers. Okay. Now, King David's leadership was marked by conviction, strategic insight, and an unwavering belief in human potential. And it offers valuable lessons for today's business leaders. By seeing the potential in every team member, by maintaining persistent belief, instilling conviction, leading by example, and emphasizing strategic thinking and providing a sense of purpose, leaders can transform their team and achieve remarkable success. Now, David's legacy reminds us that true leadership is not about authority, it is about empowering others to realize their full potential. It's empowering others to realize their full potential. When they realize their full potential, they become very valuable to your organization. I hope this helps and thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.